There's a natural thing, like in the cops on the scene. When you break out and you see life is all but a dream, yeah. Thought my skin was a place, feel like touch the universe, the earth, where I lay my feet, my mind surrounds me, yeah. And tribulations, but I'm in the moment. Watch it all unfolding. When they ask my age, I just say it's golden. I had questions, I had to look within. Sometimes that's all you got. That's all you got. Say that shit on God. Grand Rising, peace, peace, peace. It's the Hood Mystic representing www.hoodmystic.com, and the title of this video is Nourishment. And so, like I said in the full moon and Cancer video, which the link is in the descriptions to, throughout this week I'll be discussing aspects that are supporting this full moon, because I couldn't necessarily get into it in the full moon video, or that video would have been a 5-hour long video to discuss every aspect and everything associated with the full moon in Cancer. And although we talked about a lot, and although you should watch that video on its own, the videos that support the full moon in Cancer are going to be these daily energy readings. And the reason that I did this is because I titled the video Good News, the full moon in Cancer video Good News, and I realized that this might be ironic or whatever the case may be, but to explain good news to people, you got to have a lot of material. You got to explain that stuff very clearly, very surely, because people don't necessarily believe that good things are happening to them, or that good things could happen to them. So to explain it astrologically, to explain it psychologically, is kind of the goal this week. And if you are feeling a way, as to say, I don't know, Hood, it don't feel like that, I feel like things are going bad for me, then, you know, this is kind of why we having these conversations, so we can readjust some things, so we can understand that what happens to us moving forward is totally dependent on our frequency, on our energy, and our law of attraction, the seeds that we set. So yeah, I'm on baby duty today, so just heads up. But I got John with me right now. He's just like cooling out. He's generally cooling out when he's being held, so hopefully the trend continues and he don't spaz out in the middle of this video and I may have to end it. So that's just a fair warning, but for the most part he cool, he chilling, he listening, all attentive and all of that. So John is with us this morning, ladies and gentlemen. But peace to the family. Good morning to everybody. Grand rising to all the conscious people out there. Yeah, and December 18th, man. Today is Tuesday, is ruled by Mars, so the focus is going to be on Mars. And the thing about Mars is that it's really only making a true aspect today. Now, it may be approaching a trine to the North Node, but I guess we can say that conversation for a later day when it gets closer into the exactitude of a trine, because it's actually going to be conjunct Chiron, and that's going to be later in the week, moving into next week, where it'll actually be in a full-on trine with the North Node. But as of now, as we speak, Mars is sextile Pluto at exact 20 degrees. Mars in Pisces, Pluto in Capricorn. So today, I just want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about nothing else. There's a whole lot of things going on the chart, but not really. The chart is kind of mild. The energy is kind of mild. It's not a lot going on. It's a lot of things that you possibly could learn. If we check out the video yesterday about foreshadowing, we can learn how to manifest. We can learn how to bring the best things in our lives with this energy if we want to. Or we can sit back with the woe is me attitude and the victim mentality and so forth and so on. Or we can take control of our energy. And so taking control of your energy speaks to this. And we're dealing with a sextile. And so a sextile in astrology is like, hey bro, go down the street to the store. Now, it's very simple to go to the street, to the store, get you a bag of hot Cheetos, a Snickers bar, and a 25-cent juice. You can do that. But if you don't do that, then you will never get to enjoy your Cheetos, you will never get to enjoy your juice, and you will never get to enjoy your Snickers. So the idea with sextiles is they're not very hard, but they still have to be done. With a sextile, I'm not asking you to climb a mountain, I'm just asking you to cross the street, you know what I'm saying, and go get me a little bag from old boy, because that's your man's. I don't really know him like that, but you know him, you can do it for me. You know, that's a sextile. In life, when you have sextiles, there is no guarantee, but if you actually put the effort, but it's not like a risk though at the same time. Even though there is no guarantee, like, of course you can be like, damn, he was just going to the store and daddy ain't never came back home. You could say that, but 10 times out of 10, if daddy goes to the store, he just going to get his pack of cigarettes and coming back home, and that's just the end of that. That's a sextile. And so we have two distinct planets and placements that speak to damn near the same thing, but in different ways. Mars in the 3rd degree, which I'll explain later with the tarot card of the day. Mars in the 3rd degree speaks to that of culmination, that of nourishment, that of the feeling of getting your needs met. When you come home at night after a long day and you got that stew, chicken or beef stew that your wife done cooked and been simmering in that pot all day, you know, and you, right, Nico? And then you get like some hot sauce or your favorite condiment, and you got like your cornbread or whatever the case may be. That's nourishment, because, you know, after a long hard day, your appetite is being satisfied. And once you're eating, that feeling of, damn, I can't wait to get home and smash, is gone. So at the beginning of the page where we discuss needs, the idea of needs is the idea of like, okay, I need this, but once you get it, you don't need it no more. And that's how you know you've reached the level, because you no longer need it. There were times where I needed a relationship, I needed love, I needed money, I needed. And now I wake up in the morning and I don't really particularly need shit. I need people to leave me alone sometimes, like my kids, but other than that, I don't need nothing. All my needs were met. And I think this is a level of spirituality that we can access, but are you ready for that? A lot of people I know for a fact are afraid, because needing shit makes life worth living. If I don't need nothing from you, if you don't got nothing that are valued for me, and whatever the case may be, then it's hard to have a conversation. So, where you're at, if you've been processing and doing the work and coming to this point in time, you know where your needs are met at. And therefore, there is no tug of war of where you should be or what you should be doing. The answer is, are your needs met? The things that you need. And I'm not talking about physical things like rent, food, food, clothing, and shelter. I'm talking about the emotional needs, the spiritual needs, the mental needs, you know, a whole host of needs that a human being needs. And so that brings us to Pluto and Capricorn, and what's that actually specifically saying? That is the choir of you. And when I think about a choir, I think about a whole bunch of different things. I think about harmony. I think about the fact that in a choir, ain't nobody like, you know what? This whole shit is all about me. I don't care about this. I'm about to go for mine. And everybody harmonizing and going along with the choir director. And then somebody just start like, you know what? It's just, I'm gonna just do me and start hitting high notes all crazy, messing up the flow. Like, that's how we are with our egos, where we have a synchronicity or a symbiote of energies that surround us and work with us. But if you only focusing in on your ego, then your ego, in a sense, is ruining the flow. It's ruining the choir. It's all out of pitch. It's all out of key. All out of tune. Dealing with Pluto and Capricorn, you gotta take some steps back. You gotta chill in a second. You gotta reflect, use your intellect, use whatever you can to get up out of your ego. And taking all of this energy is like realizing, okay, nourishment and then choir, and really working to understand the fact that you have multiple sides to you. You have multiple flows, you have multiple beings, multiple sides, multiple personalities that have to be synchronized and harmonized, or else you not being true to self. And when you're not being true to self, that's always your problem. When you're trying to be true to a society, trying to be true to an organization, trying to be true to a relationship, and you're not true to yourself. And so when we speak about good news and we speak about bringing the positive energy into the reality, there's a level of just kind of figuring yourself out and taking yourself seriously. It's not all about what such and such is doing, him and him is doing, and all of that. So I wasn't gonna really talk long today. I'ma just keep it light, cause the energy has been real heavy of late. So I would suggest that people catch up with the energy, with the full moon in Cancer video, the foreshadowing video, even the new moon in Sagittarius video that kind of set all of this energy off with the idea of anticipation and, you know, making sure that you're emotionally sound moving forward so you can actually manifest the best things in your life. Like, that's what I want for everybody on this live and all of that. I want everybody to understand that who they are is you are important. you are magical. You got every faculty that anybody else has, but you have to really deal with it and understand it, that a lot of what you are is invisible or not in the physical realm. And so here we are in a space where the Ten of Cups represents Mars and Pisces, and the Four of Discs represents the third decan of Capricorn. So we have two third decan cards. And if you can see, I don't know if you can see or not, but the last sentence for the Four of Pentacles simply states, your financial situation has been steadfastly growing over a period of time, many lifetimes. And I just want to pause right there, because when we speak to this choir, when we speak to the 20th degree of Capricorn, when we speak to this energy, we're speaking to the idea of many lifetimes. And this is your choir. You come with a whole slew of altos, tenors, sopranos, of energy that can aid and assist you. And man, this shit might sound far-fetched. And man, it may seem difficult to understand this shit, but that's why we're talking about a damn sextile, because it's gonna require you to put some effort into finding out the different levels and beings of which you exist on. As I try to figure out myself, I'm hoping that you trying to figure out yourself and you not trying to figure me out. Because I'm still trying to figure me out. I'm still trying to figure out my purpose while I'm here and all of the good shit. And the Ten of Cups, Mars and Pisces, that fulfillment, that understanding that you've been worrying about shit and you've been trying to get to a place that you haven't even began to go in the right direction if you haven't been going within. If you've been ascending through life trying to be the best person you can be and you have not took the internal direction to figure out what that actually is, then you're doing yourself a disservice. So to know yourself, to know thyself, is not as simple as knowing how you look and accentuating and accessorizing your clothes and shit. To know thyself is to know yourself at the deepest, most profound spiritual level. To know how you exist on this planet, to know your energy, to know what you represent, to know your ancestral lineage, to get into your DNA, all of this, it matters. And I just want to say good morning and grand rising to everybody on the live. Peace to everybody. I know it's early in the morning and you have a chance to really create your day, show your day how you want it to be. And I was riding home yesterday and I was thinking about this concept, and I talked about this concept on Friday, but something in my mind was like, you know, you did not explain this well enough for people to really understand it. So you have to re-explain this till people get it. And I'm like, okay. Cause I get this shit, but at the same time I know that putting this information out, or even my voice or whatever the case may be, is never as clear as I fully understand it. So that's always my work, that's always my sextile, that's always what I gotta put effort in, making the information more relatable and more clearer to the individual. So I want to get this point clear, because I think this is profound when you actually think about it, and it makes your life that much more simple. When you realize that your cognition or your mental faculties start with your emotions. And if you don't have the proper basic emotional foundation or emotional structure to make it through life, then the cognition, the mental part don't even matter. How smart you are, how bright you are, how whatever the case may be, because you have no emotional regulation. And if you are being driven by your emotions, no matter how old you are or how far you think you got it, how far you think it has you, if your emotions get tinkered with or messed with, then that's going to throw you all the way off. Like, it's like this. Hold on. It's like me and you, we could have a deep-ass lecture, and I can drop down the most profound secrets of the universe. And it could go straight into your intellect, and you can be like, wow, Hood Mystic, that's profound. I never heard no shit like that. Like, this is everything that I needed to hear. And I'm like, that's what's up, bro. And I give you a pound, and you exit out the room or exit out the home or whatever, and you walk outside, and somebody and an old lady just run up on you and smack the shit out of you. Everything that we just talked about and built upon on the secrets of the universe and how profound the world is, and you know, everything, right? People, you will forget all about it because this old lady done smacked you, kicked you in the stomach, and then robbed you, and then kept it moving. So therefore, everything that we done talked about the profound secrets of the universe, you would think that related to you getting smacked and kicked by an old lady. Therefore, it don't matter what you know. These niggas know everything out here. But what about the emotional foundation to man, you ever been working with somebody and they go through something with their girlfriend, and you be like, damn, we working on something profound, bro. Like, we can really get this shit popping. But then it's like, you know, my girlfriend hurt my feelings, bro. She was texting another dude on Facebook. I can't do nothing. You know, I'm shutting down. And it's like, when you emotionally trigger or emotionally scarred, be prepared to do dumb shit. You might do the worst things in the world because you don't have an emotional soundness. And so therefore, you see something that I say on Facebook, now you hate me. You see your mama say something about you. You know, we had this conversation a couple months ago where it's like, you know, your mother calling you like, you know, I never loved you. Click. And then you kind of like, what am I supposed to do? It's like the same thing you've been doing. You shouldn't rely on anybody's emotional support. You simply have to rely on your own emotional support and your own nourishment. And the reason why is because you more than enough. You more than enough. Your energy is more than enough. And at the end of the day, your energy is all you can really fucking count on. Your family might get swooped up in a tornado. It happens. And it's just now you. But you had everything pent up on your family and your emotions pent up on your family. And you never had your emotions pent up on your source. And this is very important. And it's funny, but it's serious though. You have to depend on yourself and your energy and your energies moving forward. And if you like, I don't know what you're talking about, well then you gotta get to know yourself. Know thyself. They say that's the first rule of the goddamn game. When you come into consciousness, that should be a pamphlet that niggas handed to you. And all you see, you open up at the pamphlet and all you see is know thyself. Like, okay, this is what I have to know. And I have to learn and realize my spiritual energy, and I have to harmonize my spiritual energy, and we have to move forward as such. And so this video is just going to be a little quick video to just support the continuing information that we're building towards this full moon in Cancer that happens this Saturday on the 22nd with the coinciding with the winter solstice, so a lot of energy and a lot of information to get out, and there is no way that I could do it in one video, so I'm doing it in parts and in chunks and trying to break this information down step by step. Tomorrow we'll talk about Mercury and we'll get some money in our lives. And so with that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace to the family. You know where to find me at www.hoodmystic.com, hoodmystic@gmail.com, and all of the things like that. Make sure y'all watch that full moon video, get into that full moon article, and you know, let's change the world, man. Let's really do some powerful stuff, you know, with dealing with our energy and our energy alone, because our energy is more than enough. All right, peace.